Okay, I got my camera set back up and saddle's in the middle of the pen where it was. We missed was me just figure eighting him around me and the saddle. I just let him go around the outside of the saddle, then in between me and the saddle, and around me, and then back in between me and back around the saddle, and just did like a figure eight. And got him kind of used to the saddle being on the ground. Made sure he was okay with it on the ground. Now I'm gonna go on, and again, this is exactly what I'm gonna act like he's never been saddled before. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the saddle, the blanket. I'm gonna put it underneath my hand and just let him see it, let him feel it. I'm gonna touch him with it. I'll put it underneath my arm, excuse me, and then kind of put it over his back. Now I would introduce a brand new horse the same way. I would a horse that's never seen this, never seen the blanket, never seen the saddle. I'll do it the same exact way. Okay. I'll sit there and I'll put it underneath my arm. I'll fold the blanket up just like that, put it underneath my arm, let him smell it, let him look at it, okay? Then I'll rub his neck and go on down as he becomes okay with it. Now, this horse has been saddled 100 times. He's been saddled a lot. So I know he's okay with this, or I feel that he's okay with this. But I'm going to do this with him anyway. I'm not going to take him for granted. Again, I'm looking for holes. You'll be surprised at some of the little nitpicking things that that comes out of these horses that they just were skipped over and the horse isn't okay with. Now, what you want to do is be able to rub this blanket all over him. You need to be able to take it and go down his rump and up his neck and over his head. Okay, he has to be okay with that before you put the saddle on. That is important. A lot of people don't bring the saddle up over his head the blanket up over their head like that. It's that's an important thing to do. Okay, and you need to do just like what I'm doing. The horse needs to be okay with this. All right. And the reason why that's so important is he needs to be okay with things over his head. Okay, you can get him used to the saddle and everything, down close, and but once you get on and you're up above his head, okay, it brings a whole different aspect to it in the horse's mind, and he needs to be okay with things over his head. Okay, he needs to be okay with things touching his ears. All right. Some horses are real sensitive to that. You just have to get them over it. Okay, you need to get them over it before you go. Now, if you notice, I'm not wrapping that lead rope around my arm. Okay, it's just hanging on my arm. All right. And if you tuck the saddle underneath your arm like that and use the momentum of it and swing it up there like that, the smallest person can saddle these horses. I've got little granddaughters that can take this same saddle and throw it up on a horse this size. This horse is over 15 hands. He's pushing 16. I am 6'3" and weigh 220 pounds. Okay, so you can see the height of that horse next to me, and he's actually the shortest one out of the three. The other two horses, they don't look like it, but they're pretty good sized horses. Again, you want to saddle them on both sides. Now, this horse is okay with it. He's been saddled a lot, so I don't have to spend a whole lot of time on this. I just need to check him and make sure he's okay with it. He's going to go through this restart really quick. I expect one more session, unless I find something drastically wrong that I have to work on. I expect one more session, he'll be through the restart, where the other two horses are going to need many more sessions before they're through with the restart. And it's just because this horse had more training. He just needed to be reintroduced to the training. He needed to be reminded on what his role is in life. And that the person is the decision maker, not him. We can be buddies, we can be friends, but I'm going to make the decisions. Now, if you notice when I'm cinching this saddle up, I've got 4 latigos on this saddle. I don't have a back girth on there. I got 4 latigos. Now right here, you see him stomping and swishing his tail. There is a stinking bot fly that is that is bothering him. And them guys, once they get on your horse, they don't give up. You got to almost kill them to make them leave you alone. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, I got the saddle tightened up where it won't come off. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take care of this bot fly. And I could try to sit there and swing and try to hit him with my hand. It's kind of hard. I just wait for him to get up, get where I can get to him, and then I squirt him with the fly spray. A lot easier to deal with them that way. Okay, I got him, so we can go on. And you see how much quieter the horse is standing. His tail's not swishing around, and that's what you want. You want to make this a good experience for the horse. So again, I take that. I got 4 latigos on this saddle, and I'll go ahead and tighten up the front girth, the girth on the front, and then I'll take the back latigo and run it through the D-ring on the girth strap, and then back up and just tie it to the D-ring on the saddle. And you see how that holds that saddle in position? It doesn't let that saddle flop around. The first time you're saddling these horses, and every time you saddle horses, you want your horse to be comfortable. You don't want to get this piece of junk saddle that doesn't fit and pinches your horse, okay? Especially when the first saddling you have. And what'll happen is a lot of times with these Western saddles, the guys they'll just put the front girth on, and when they sit in the saddle, it rolls forward. The back of the saddle will roll up, and it pinches the horse's wither. If you have that saddle tied down in the back, it can't raise up and pinch the horse's withers. And when on your first saddling, guys, don't go get this piece of junk saddle and just throw it on your horse's back and expect him to be okay with it. I mean, you don't want to pinch this horse and make him uncomfortable the first time he's saddled. You want this to be a good experience. Now, you don't have to use your brand new saddle, but you can get an older saddle that fits properly, okay? Or pretty close anyway. And again, I'm going to go ahead and get him saddled and move him around. Make sure he's okay. And look for any kind of resistance to movement that might come once he's saddled. Now you can tell, or I can tell, looking at him, his front end, he's a little stiffer on the front end with this saddle. Now that could be the fit, and it could be him being nervous, a little nervous with the saddle on, but he's rigid through his body. When he's turning, he's not really giving his front end as much. He's not arcing his body as much as he was. That's just something to commit to memory, okay? Something you need to pick up on. Because when you get on, it may create problems. So I asked him to back up. He did real good. I'll give him a long break. Now I want to see if he's going to leave, if he can stand comfortable with this saddle. That's why I'm taking so much longer with him staying out there like that. He's okay with it. I'm going to ask him to come on and follow me. Again, if you notice how stiff his body is, he's not really curling his body. He's not really backing up quite as free as he was either. So that's all from him having the saddle on versus having the saddle off. It's just subtle differences in him, but you need to pick that up. Now, I'm not going to ride him this session. I'm probably going to ride him the next session, more than likely, and I'll put a little different saddle on him. I'll put my saddle that I ride in all the time on him. It's going to it'll fit him a lot better than this one. So we'll see if he frees up that front end a little more with a little higher quality saddle. Okay. And so he did good. I'm going to go ahead and unsaddle him now. Again, you want to go through this whole process and look at everything to see if he jumps or if he thinks he can't stand still. All of this matters. If he moves around in this process, I'm going to saddle him and unsaddle him several more times until he decides he doesn't have to move, doesn't have to fidget. And again, right now he's doing really well. And you'll see with the other horses, I know they've been ridden and they've been saddled, so they might take it just as good as this one. I don't know. We'll find out. But if they're not standing still and okay, just like this horse is, I'm going to keep going until they are. I'll just go ahead and put the saddle outside. And again, all of this is checking him out to see if he's going to jump or do anything. If any of this is going to make him nervous, this is all part of the restart. We are looking for holes. And as of right now, I haven't found any in this horse except for him being a little strong-willed, a little hard-headed. You know, he just had that control issue there at the beginning. That's going to be it. And if y'all liking these videos, please subscribe and share them.